Hello and welcome back to the Binding of Isaac. Most folks just call me Orange Joe. And I don't remember what happened last time. Oh, was it the ridiculous run? It had to be. Yeah, it had to be. So we back. Yeah, I mean, I. So the reason I'm not entirely, or I wasn't entirely sure about what had happened last time. By the way, we're playing Isaac, like the character and the game. So for starters, the seed Y42K 4Y6B. If you want to play along with me. And yeah, the reason that I was really unsure is because I ended up just scrapping a video that I recorded with the intention of putting. You know what? For those of you, by the way, who are questioning why not save the HP until the end of the floor, you're right. That's just kind of poor play on my part, but it's alright. But yeah, I ended up scrapping a video between the last one you will have seen and this one. And that's just because of kind of the way I'm trying to approach content from now on, is that I just want to put out the kind of the better stuff, not just the stuff where I'm feeling like it just isn't the right vibe and stuff like that. And it's not like it's the first time I've thrown away videos or whatever have you for the channel, but yeah, again, don't be like me. Save that HP if you're playing along with me. Save that until after you finish the floor so that you can protect your deal with the devil for the next floor. But if you're lucky, if we're lucky, we'll see, the item room here will have bombs of some such. But anyway, yeah, I've yeeted episodes in the past, right? You all know that. We've talked about it before. Draw. It could be worse. But the thing about it is that I'm doing it more frequently now, because the ones I got rid of in the past were ones that, like, yeah, I didn't like the way it went, but simultaneously, like, even in spite of that, the ones that I got rid of because they were, like, overwhelmingly just negative and I was angry the whole time and so on and so forth. Whereas these ones I'm getting rid of, I'm just getting rid of them because I'm like, just don't like the I just didn't like the way it turned out, and that's kind of it. And I'm becoming more okay with just letting go of episodes that I'm like, nah, that one just isn't for me, and that's okay. I wish I knew how to not do that, how to guarantee that you kill just the head, because the horse head shoots off exploding like tears that could blow up the tinted rock for us, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm just becoming more okay with, man, that's it, right? Yeah, we can't. Well, that's not true. We could go to the curse room, which we will. But yeah, I'm just getting more okay with throwing away episodes that I feel like are just not worth your time or mine. And that's kind of it. And I don't want anyone to feel bad about that, or, you know, have any negative associations with that. Okay with Guppy's Paw. In fact, we'll play it twice. That's how okay with it I am. I want to keep one red heart so that way we can we can kind of go for deals with the devil on this run, because we can now get the Polaroid. But I'm not carrying it because I think the straw is good enough to kind of give us a little bit of extra damage we're looking for here. That curse room interests me, and I think we're going to go into it because the last one was so fruitful for us. Wise choice, as you can see. But no, I deleted the last episode that I recorded because I was really unhappy with it. I realized I was rehashing an argument I had already had before, and hey, a bomb. That's actually kind of awesome. But I just wasn't best pleased with the content the way it came out, and I was like, you know what? There's a great solution to my problem right there. And it's just delete it and never think about it ever again. Well, I mean, obviously I'm I'm embarrassed I got hit by the poop. Let's not talk about it. But yeah, I was like, there's a very easy solution, and it's that we can just get rid of it. And I did. And I think I'm going to do that going forward for any content that I'm just, like, not keen on, not happy of, you know, whatever have you. And I'm not going to do it, like, ideally that often, because that'd be terrible. But I don't know, I like putting out content that I enjoy, and if I don't enjoy it, I don't want to put it out there. I can almost guarantee you, by the way, that the secret room is in this room, to the left, but the problem is that I don't know if I care enough to actually use a bomb for it, or if I think I should save the bomb, and I think I should save the bomb. Because usually first secret rooms, in my experience so far, whoa, that was unbelievably excellent positioning of the cube of meat and entirely accidental. The only reason we didn't take damage right there is because cube of meat was in the right place at the right time. If that were intentional, I would consider myself one of the greatest players of all time, but it wasn't, I promise. That was luck. Sheer dumb luck, as the what's-her-name puts it. But yeah, I genuinely think that that bomb getting us a spirit heart right there is worth more than your average secret room would be for a single bomb. If you're talking about secret rooms where it has an item in it, but you have to spend another bomb once you're in there, sure, you could probably argue that, like, yeah, those secret rooms are going to be better than your average tinted rock, but, like, those rooms are A, rare, and B, even when you do get them, you have to spend 2 bombs as opposed to 1. And, okay, again, cube of meat coming in huge right there on accident. I don't mean to... Whoa. Again, I don't mean to be putting it where it's getting, but it's happening and it's helping, so I'm not complaining. Cube of meat, you know how terrible I am with orbitals. I'm keeping the bomb, sorry to tell you. Dingle, champion Dingle at that. But there's a place to hide, so we should be okay. You a 4? Yeah, I thought you were a 4. Just depends on how shooty you are. But we should be okay to deal with a champion nickel. I'm not too afraid of that. Especially because we can hide in a room like this. If there was no hidey hole, the red hoops would be a problem very quick. But because we can hide in any, well, in 3 of the 4 corners, we don't have a whole lot to worry about. Sorry, getting quiet just because I got a little scared. But we're okay. We're okay. Not a whole lot to worry about. Synth oil is really great. Puts us 1 closer to spawn. Really, we're doing well. I want to... That's lucky. I want to have deal with a double precedent, but I don't think that item's better than the straw, so we're just not going to take it. I'd rather have the red heart and just run the risk of potentially getting angel deals. Angel deals are pretty rare anyway. That being said, if we get angel deals, there are some truly powerful items to glean there. Okay, so core principle of this room, don't corner yourself. What are we going to probably immediately do? Corner ourselves. That's right. Cube of meat. I owe a huge apology and thank you letter to Cube of meat because of how often it has saved us this run from just dumb damage. Like, you guys saw that, right? How it ate that shot while we were running away. I don't know how else to go on about this without gushing. So I'm going to just change topic and hope that you all don't notice. Smooth transition, right? So recently, I not rediscovered, but I had a conversation with a friend. And when I say recently, I mean this was weeks ago, but it's just kind of sinking in now. That kind of went along the lines of a song came on. Why not? What do you got? Thunder Thighs. Horrible. Absolutely terrible pickup. And I know what that was, I would not have taken it. That is terrible. Now, the upshot of this floor is that it's a 35% chance floor, so very, very unlikely that we would get a deal. Downside, it gave us a horrible item in Thunder Thighs. I really, truly do not like this item in most circumstances. It's the HP upgrade you get is not worth the speed downgrade. You will take damage more often than not because you were slow, rather than having an actual natural benefit from the speed up. Plus, not to mention, Stompy is actually something that, like, I know it's a benefit, but more often than not just comes back to haunt me because I end up accidentally stepping on a mushroom that I thought I was further away from than I was, and it blows up in my face. So just know that I'm gutted that we picked that up, and there is that core tenet that some players have where you never ever pick up items on Curse of the Blind, which I understand. Don't necessarily agree with, but I understand. And this item, among others, is kind of one of those reasons where I'm like, I wish I did that. Now, am I complaining too much for an HP upgrade? Yeah. But it's just, yeah, we'll take it. It's inopportune because we had 1 red heart, which is all you really need at any given moment. more than that and you're kind of greedy. Not really. It's just if you're going for, alright, deal with the devil precedent, you don't want to have a ton of red hearts, because what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up getting a deal where it's like, hey, there's one of the best items in the game, but it's a 2-heart requirement. We only have 2 hearts. Or, you know, whatever. You only want to spend 1 heart if you can help it on any given deal with the devil. So you don't need to have the extra HP when you're angling for an item. What you want to do is you want to have that extra HP for after you pick up the item, because then you can go, cool, I can just refill. Now, if I could guarantee that on this floor we happen to get an item on the deal with the devil that is like so good that we don't care about, this feels like a secret room as well. The left, and since we have 4 bombs, we'll test it. But by the way, should we have done that? Probably not, because of our tenets from Christina about checking for 3rd rooms and stuff. But it's just, anytime you see a room in that configuration, it just feels like a secret room. I don't know what it is. It just, it looks and feels like it. But as it sits right now, if we can, like, if the devil deal is fantastic, like I was saying, then no, I won't feel that bad about picking up Thunder Ties. But we're probably not gonna. Interesting. A big stat upgrade for just holding on to an item and not using it. I will say the effect the straw gives us passively is also very strong. Alright. But I think that Bright Bulb makes it more worth it for us to not. Except in rooms like this. And being fair, it does naturally recharge itself. But still. I feel like we made a prudent move by playing the straw. And I think it's still worth it for us to not play it most of the time. That guy run by. But yes, I was talking about how I had a conversation with a friend. Second secret room, feels like. That you? Yeah, just had a feeling. Great use of our time. So, that friend and I were talking about music, and there's a song that, I'm going to leave out who it's by to start, because it's important. So, okay, that's not true. I should start by saying, I have had a long-standing positive feeling towards the band the Doobie Brothers. Kind of a 80s, 70s band. I think more 80s, but I'm not 100% on that. You got dinner. Again, angry that it's a deal with the devil that we actually got on this floor. But here we are. Angrier still that we got an item in one of these cursed chests. So this run is really good, and we shouldn't take that because it could be Cursed Eye or Bob's Brain. But it could be another guppy item, and that's because it would be our second. I have to take it. Curse of the Tower, also terrible. So if we don't get explosion immunity, we are in a lot of trouble. Anyway, I like the Doobie Brothers. I didn't really know any of their music by name. I just knew I kind of liked them because back in the day when I worked at a gas station, we always had to have the oldies channel on the radio, and this is terrible. Like, demonstrably horrible the way that went. But so we always had to have an oldies channel on the radio because it was the only thing that it picked up other than country. And I gotta tell you, no, I don't care if you don't like this. I hate modern country. I like some older country. I truly do. You know, like the hey, good looking, what you got cooking era, the Johnny Cashes of the world, Johnny Cash. Even modern country that's meant to emulate old country, like, oh, what's his name? I know the song I really like by him. I'll just say the song. It's Devil Wears a Suit and Tie. Coulter Wall, that's it. He does a good job of doing modern country in a interesting way because it feels like old country, and that's why I like it. But thank you, Thunder Thighs. It's probably the only time you'll ever hear me say that. With 6 keys, I say why. Good. But I just modern pop country where it's amalgamated the pop genre into its core tenet, I can't stand it. Pop is something that I will tolerate, but typically the pop artists I like are because they're fantastic artists beyond being in the pop genre. It's kind of they happen to supersede pop by just being good. More so than I like them because they produce pop music. But to that end, again, I don't like the general overtones of pop, and I especially don't like it when it's mixed with country. So I wouldn't listen to country radio. I just wouldn't. I would only have on oldies radio, which, being fair, I also am predisposed to like kind of 80s music. I just dig it. Flicker. Flicker is change your character, and it takes away an item. Wait, is it the last item you picked up, or is it just an item? So if it's the first item you picked up, i.e. cube of meat, we don't want it. But if it takes away Curse of the Tower, I will happily stop playing as Isaac this run. Like, no questions asked. So let me check it, because that was a mechanic about the clicker I did not know. Change. It says it's a random item, but I swear it's the last item you picked up. I'm gonna try this. Sue me if it fails. Yes! It did take away the last item. So we are Eden? Fine. So I'm okay with being Eden. So post-it note-wise, pretty much the same thing. Okay, cool. That worked out perfectly, because the Curse of the Tower was gonna get us in way more trouble than it had any right to. So that worked out extremely well. And they'll hate Thunder Thighs, but I stand by that, and I think that... Oh, okay. I think that was a pretty good move on our part to do that, and part of me is legitimately considering holding it so we can get rid of Thunder Thighs. I don't know if it will actually take away the red heart HP we've gained, but it seems almost worth it. But I don't know if it would give us the stat reset as though we hadn't picked up Thunder Thighs either. That's the problem. But, so I think we'll just say it's fine and deal with the random ambient damage we take from Thunder Thighs as you'll learn as time goes on. You live and you learn. That's what I was looking for. But this room sucks. We do not do enough damage for this kind of room to happen with a champion in it and a spawner. But anyway, so I like 80s kind of music, 70s stuff sometimes, and 90s music was something I grew up with, so I'm okay with like 90s pop and even early 2000s pop, not too bad. But into the early 2010s, I was starting to become disillusioned with it. Not that it was bad, just okay, great. Got scared. Forgot that we could get rid of rocks and almost walked right into a fire. So, but anyway, I just for a while got off the pop train because I was an angsty teenager who was like, I don't like that kind of music, grr. And it's not. It was a lot of. There's a lot of problems with it, and it wasn't like ooh, it's not like I actually didn't like the music. Opia. Take that. I think we're gonna take that. I know that normally picking up Diplopia just ends up with us never doing anything with it, but it's such a good item, and it always works with Vibrant Bulb. Now the hope is that we can somehow angle it on this floor to be good for us, because whenever we hold it, it ends up screwing us over, and having an active item with Vibrant Bulb pays for itself immediately, so you don't want to just waste Diplopia, quote unquote waste, right, and just have it end up doing nothing for you. But on the other hand, I don't want to spend 15 cents and pick up an item that could be as good as Diplopia and then do nothing with it. I can't stand that we blow up mushrooms just by walking into them. Big problem. Stars card, good for next floor. Dark one, could be very good. I think are you a guaranteed Devil Deal item or not? I don't remember. I think you are. Anyway, so I like oldies. That's where I was getting with it. So I was like, yeah, I think I like the Doobie Brothers. And then, so there's a song called, what's it called? What a Fool Believes. And that's a song that I didn't know was by the Doobie Brothers. I thought it was just by Malcolm McDowell, or whatever his name is. The guy who sings and is part of the Doobie Brothers. I didn't know that was part of that band. So when I found that out, I was like, oh man, that's a fantastic song. And it is. I love that song. To this day, I love that song. And I was singing it earlier today. I was listening to it like a couple days ago. I was just like, man, this song's really good. And then there's this song out there called... Screw it. We're just going to Diplopia this. So that way we can pick up our item. So I think that because those three were duds, it means that these three are exactly the same duds. Yep. Okay, well, we're gonna go back for a straw, and that sucked. But anyway, there's this other song that is called Black Water. And that song I hated because it feels exactly like old country, or excuse me, modern country kind of things. And the same people that like modern country would play that song. And I hated it. I kept hearing it and I was like, man, I can't stand the song. But then, recently, in that conversation with that friend, I found out Black Water is by the Doobie Brothers. And it's just by one of their other singers, because there's like 3 dudes that sing in that band. Well, actually 4, but I think the 4th is just a backup singer. By the way, we burned through so much HP on these last couple floors, or excuse me, on just that last floor. We went through all of our soul hearts, which we had a lot. And I blame that almost entirely to us having Curse of the Tower. That really did it in for us, but we've also taken a lot of dumb damage because of Thunder Thighs. And there's very little I can say to the defense of that other than I told you so. This is a room we can play to our advantage with Thunder Thighs, but like, it has to pay us, and that's also a potential payout of it, so we should wait till later. I don't care. Let's just use the position right away. But so once I found out it was by the Doobie Brothers, it kind of made me think a little bit more about the band that produced that song. And I've come to realize that I actually do like that song because I know what band made it and like the kind of mentality that comes out of the musicians who would have made that song. I'm like, no, that song actually is quite decent. It's just that the people who typically play it, I don't typically care for because they just listen to other music I wouldn't agree with. And they also have this other song that I, again, did not know was them because it's one of their other singers. And that's, what is it? Long Train Running? I'll look it up after we're safe again. If we're safe again, because this might be a killing us kind of room. But, it might be Long Train Rolling. Will you just stop with all of the hitting us and the... Like, I don't know what to do anymore. This room is killing me. Literally and figuratively. I can't stand this. We don't have enough damage. We don't have enough HP. Like, I don't know what you want from me. What? World card, Hangman. Just use the world so we can know where to go, I guess. Okay. So, my card. Cool. Now that we're safe, I'm gonna look up that song. Because I do want to know, and I do want to talk about it. Doobie Brothers, please. Why are there so many freaking ads before? Please, Black Water, China Groove. China Groove's good. Black Water, Taking It to the Streets. Taking It to the Streets is a fantastic song. Keeps you running, listen to the music. China Groove again. What if we believe? Yeah, it's Long Train Running. That song is fantastic on so many levels. It has a really interesting, just for fun. Hey, this is an item that won't deal damage to us ever, haha. But it also is a really good damage upgrade. So as long as we don't play the fool here, this will work out to our advantage. Long Train Runnin' is a song that I still need to do more reflection on how I feel about the lyrics. I think I quite like them. And I know that sounds funny to be like, I think it's good, but the reason I put it that way is just because I don't know the lyrics 100%, so I just want to go through them to make sure I know every word to it before I fully kind of formulate a thought on it. But my understanding of the song is like, hey, think about how different your life would be if you did not have love in it. What would you do? Specifically, where would you be? If you didn't have love, where would you be in life? Where would you be, period? Would you be in the same town? Would you have hopped on a train and, kind of left? What would happen? And I think that's a really interesting idea, especially to me, because there have been many times where I've had that wanderlust about me and I've just been like, get me out of here. I want to go anywhere. And, like oh boy. The idea of just being able to hop on a train and get out of town and never be seen again has been just like a fantasy of mine for a while. Just be like, man, I could just go somewhere else and start a new life. And I think that's an interesting idea. Plus, not to mention like the the way that they play with the guitar, which is really upbeat and lively in that song, and then they like it has this like cutaway part where the guitar, where all the other instruments and singing go away, and then the guitar comes back in, and the singing kind of comes back in. It just it rips. That song is just so good. I really like it. I think it's a lot of fun, and it does one of the things that I appreciate most in a lot of. You just freaking go away, buddy. Please, I beg of you. I don't know what else to do. Please stop turning. I need you to stop this. It's driving me nuts, my friend. Like, it's impossible to anticipate where it's gonna be. There we go. Because he just keeps constantly changing direction. Anyway, yes, we're going to the shop. Why? Because I hoped it had money in it. Or, excuse me. Ah! Okay, so we're dead and this run is a loss now. And I'm frustrated and upset because there's nothing I can do about it anymore. Run got away from me when we got Curse of the Tower. What are you? Can't kill us. So why not take it? Worst it could do, make this run and lose. Oh no, we've already lost. So anyway, it does something that I like when songs really do, and it decides. There's a clear decision in that song to become very dynamic. Wait, there is a Hanged Man card hanging out back here. So as long as I'm not a dum-dum, we can use it. Infested. Yeah. So this is using my noggin a little bit, but it probably won't matter. But it might. So there was more HP in there. Where? Right there. That sucks. That's stupid. I didn't know that. But, oh well. Anyway, it's very dynamic in that it changes kind of mood and tone by messing with the instrumentation. And I really like when songs do that. It's actually one of my favorite things that metal does. And it's a big part of why I love metal so much. Is there's so many dynamic metal songs out there that will completely goof up its tempo just to give an added dimension of feeling to a song. And I really like when music is willing to be that confident in itself. No, take strength, because why not? But it's something that I wish I would have paid attention to that laugh and thought anything of it other than just standing in place. But when you shoot bombs, what do you do? What do you want? I'm getting angry now, but take the hermit. See if I care. So, that being dynamic is something that like I always have loved when music does, and it's something that I think is lacking in a lot of pop. There's not a lot of risk taking in many pop songs where it's like, hey, what if we took the entire, like, just please, I beg of you, how do I make this happen here? What do I fine, you know what, just do that. Thank you. I feel it's lost in a lot of music, not just pop, and there's a lot of admittedly like kind of more how you say generic metal that does this same thing where it doesn't get dynamic because it doesn't have to, it just needs to be catchy, right? And I love when songs are like, hey, what if we just had a moment of letting the song or message or tone sink in a lot more. Just good. But I would love to hear your music recs if you got music of any genre. Good. But glad that the last shop could give me a bunch of money I don't need. You may as well have given me ash. Like just literal ashes from burning down a tree. That would have done just as much help as giving me money on the second to last floor of a run. Or on the last floor where a shop would be, excuse me. Anyway, yeah, give me your recommendations for songs that you like. It can have dynamic parts, it cannot. I don't care. Just like music, man. Can't promise you I'll enjoy whatever you recommend to me. I don't even enjoy the music I listen to half the time. But I like music, so I would love to hear from you. So I'm sure you can tell at this point I'm kind of, as always, spinning my wheels a little bit. And the reason I started recording this episode is more or less, he just walked over that. I didn't know that those guys could just phase through rocks, and that's upsetting. That guy just walked straight over those rocks. You guys saw that, right? I'm not crazy. That's insane to me. Good club. Sure. It literally couldn't matter less. It matters as much as the money I keep picking up. Oh, idiot. Don't do that. Don't do as I just did. That was very stupid. We got lucky. But yeah, the reason I wanted to record this episode was more or less just because I wanted to talk. And because I do have news to share. And I know it's like, why'd you wait so long? Because everyone who cared would have clicked off by now. And you're right. But what am I supposed to do in that situation? What would you have had me do? Not exist there? Sorry. I don't know how to help you in this capacity. I truly don't. What could I have done differently, game? All I did was move in like the only feasible path, and you said not good enough. Anyway, so as I've been talking about kind of passively / semi-actively, I've been looking for a job. With HP's fine. I'm not necessarily frustrated that we got HP again. It's just, it could have been mapping, which would have been good. It could have been, I don't know, it could have even been money. But I'm just frustrated with this run, I guess. Anyway, so I've been looking for a job, and the development in that field is today I had my third interview with the place I applied, and I ended up getting a job offer. Wasn't necessarily a job I was hoping for. It wasn't, you know, I say that as though I'm disappointed. I'm not. It just, I applied for a higher position and didn't get that, but I got the pay I wanted, and it's at a smaller responsibility rate, so like, I'm not upset in the least, because it just means that I'm getting paid exactly what I asked for. Actually, more than I asked for by a little bit. But I have to do less work for it. The only XL floor, huh? This is gonna kill us. Like, this floor will be the death of us, hate to tell you. Because we have Stompy. And bombs as our attack, and we don't have explosion immunity. Like, there's just so many things that are working against us right now. Anyway, so like, I no complaints from me about the job thing. It's like, literally, what even is this room? What am I supposed to do about trying to run away from some of these enemies, unless you do what I did and just take damage as just a necessity of the room? Getting frustrated. Yeah, I got a job. I got offered a job, and then it's pending a like spit test, drug screen, and then a background check, which both, as far as I know, unless someone spiked my drink and then got me arrested for it as I was still asleep, and then I got released by the time I got out somehow, it'll all come back clean, and I should have a job. So soon, not like soon, but soon. And not soon for the channel, I should mention. Soon I should have a schedule figured out. So, yeah, that was really the whole point of me recording. Now I'm just frustrated because Isaac's, it's not my friend right now. But thank you for coming along for the journey. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back eventually. Wish me luck. See ya.